Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. So we are here to discuss about the power of women in real estate, and I have 4 top power women who will discuss what makes them powerful in real estate. So first we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Samina Chaudhry from Maryland, and I work with Keller Williams Lucido Agency. We are Lucido Global in 16 states in US, 2 in Canada, and growing to other states as well.
Hello, my name is Sunday McElwain. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm the founder and CEO of Black Girls Buy Houses. We concentrate on helping homeowners who are going through foreclosure, tax liens, any distress in their property where they need to sell quickly, buy, and also work with investors in order for them to acquire acquisitions.
Candy Bowen with Real Brokerage in Arizona. I am a associate broker. We were supposed to talk about production and stuff, right? So I've sold over $130 million in real estate, and I created an automated system to systemize the transaction so any agent can do 70 deals by themselves and over 150 with one TC. I created a moving truck company, a staging company, a contractor company, and I am a joint venture in a home warranty company and an insurance company. So I've really created a all-in-one stop shop where we drive business to our business, and it's really benefited through relationships. And my leadership roles, I have 5 chair positions in various boards on state and local associations, and I definitely am a heavy hitter on the fundraising side. So,
Thank you, Candy. Crystal?
Hi, I am, oh, that's a little loud. My name is Crystal Dyson. I am president of Roarco outside of Houston, Texas. We have 40 agents, and we have an office in Beaumont and Houston, and we will be opening up an office in Austin at the end of the year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ronnie White from New York City.
Ronnie, you want to speak up a little bit?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ronnie White from New York City, and I am the CSO for helping them RWD, specializing in ESG advisory, investments, green construction, and everything real estate.
Well, awesome. Let's start with the questions. Now, this is a question for Candy, Crystal, and Ronnie, all 3 of you, since all 3 of you have teams that you manage. So what advice do you have for women looking to grow either their own business or within the company they work for?
So I read this question earlier, and I'm sorry, I was supposed to say, I manage a team of 7, so.
Yeah.
There you go. So I would say to any woman getting into real estate or any business to just believe in yourself and believe you can do it. You're going to have the passion towards the goal, and the goal has to be making your life better. They start small and then your goals get bigger. So if your first goal is to be able to just make enough money to feel comfortable and financially secure, get there and keep going after that goal. So take little steps towards big success and you'll get there. Just keep focused.
Crystal?
Yeah, my advice would be know your strengths, know your downfalls, know where you're going. If you haven't read StrengthsFinder, that's a huge, massive benefit to your business because you can't grow if you don't know where your downfalls are. It takes a team, and it's not just an individual thing. If I don't have certain strengths in certain areas, I have to depend on my leadership team to help support those goals.
Ronnie, any tips?
Yes, make sure that you speak up and communicate clearly with those on your teams. I have various teams of various sizes depending on a project and scope of work, and communicate clearly and effectively the outcomes that are expected, and be available to help make sure that everyone is on the same page. And also share your knowledge and don't shy away from that. Make sure that you are being the leader, that make sure that you have that outcome. That's why you are trying to be the leader and opening up your own practice or your own firm.
Thank you. Yes.
I forgot
Yes.
to say one thing, because this is important. I wanted to put it in. Get involved in your local associations. If you're getting into real estate, the best place that you can go get examples of what to do and what to be and which path you want to be on is getting inside of the association. Check out the Young Professionals, Women's Council, Veterans Council. I mean, there's all kind of councils. So just get in there. That's what I did within a month of real estate. And they were so excited they had a new one. They put me everywhere, and that built me into leader.
That's a great idea, Candy, because I also feel that if you don't have your own database for people to start your business, that is the best way to start your own database, especially for agents who are moving from one state to another and you're new to that state. This is the best way to do that. So that's a great idea. Candy, I'm going to start
Actually,
with you.
I just wanted to
Yeah.
add to that point because it is so important and crucial. It's a key takeaway. And use that to help encourage and to educate wherever you are to get involved. Myself, I'm the chair of Health and Hospitals Corporation Bellevue, one of the biggest and historic hospitals in the United States. It's where the nursing school was first invented, the first ambulance, just the first all the way around the board, first anesthesia care, the first to just take anyone and everyone into a hospital 200 years ago. Everyone just couldn't go to the hospital. It's also where Ebola was stopped dead in its tracks before it could spread across the country. And with my knowledge base and my experience in construction and built commercial interiors, I help them make sure that the environment is safe and is as best as it can be. It's a level 1 trauma center, and in Manhattan, if something were to happen, it's where like the president would go. It's where all the people from the UN would go to get care. So I help, spread that knowledge and share that, and it encourages and it educates others, and it's important to share that knowledge. Also working locally with redesign of certain areas. We're redesigning parts of Park Avenue and a lot of other areas, so making sure that there's public art and sculptures. That helps as well, understanding the building codes and also putting that impact in to make sure that the codes are fortified and strengthen the local base. So it is important to incorporate your giving back to your community in a leadership manner into dovetailing it into your practice.
Thank you. Candy, I'm going to start with you the next, Sunday. Sunday, your next question is, what advice would you give to your 25-year-old self?
Honestly, that has not been that long ago, but
Yeah.
I would tell my 25-year-old self to continue doing what I was doing at 25, pushing myself, network, go outside the bubble. Don't be afraid to do things that people aren't doing in real estate. There's so many mentors and influencers online, especially being a millennial, that whatever I saw them doing, I was like, okay, well, how can I make that better? Or what do I see that they need to make improvements on that I can put in my personal business? So I would definitely tell myself to continue to be fearless, just go for it.
Would you do anything different if you knew, like what you know today, if you knew earlier? What would you do?
If I knew what I knew today, I mean, business would be like,
Yeah.
I'll probably be on Candy's level. But, you know, if I knew I knew today at 25, I may not have been ready just because of the maturity side of it, but I definitely would have used my youth more. I mean, just being younger, just putting younger people on teams or hiring younger people, you have that new vision of what's needed in innovation. So I would just bring what I have today into my younger self.
How have you built confidence and resiliency over the course of your career?
Oh, myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll start with you and then we'll go down.
Okay, I've built resilience throughout real estate as far as just hitting the pavement hard. Like I said, doing things that people are afraid to do. You know, going back to before the internet, using old ways of doing things, which a lot of people don't use in real estate, as far as using postcards, calling people, you know, online. They say those things are dead, but no, my demographic that I reach is baby boomers and Generation X. So those people are still using postcards, letters, text messages, emails, all those ways to reach them. They're not necessarily on Instagram, LinkedIn all the time. But what other ways which other ways can I reach them? You know, and to, you know, get them to sell their house. So the resilience of just, you know, taking the no's, missing out on sales, you know, those things build character, and, you know, you just keep going forward, and then you'll get a sale, and it continues, get referrals, just moves on from there. So.
Candy?
So should I talk about 25-year-old self?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I believe that you don't think about changing anything of your past, because maybe every single thing you had to go through in life was what got you the strength to get to be where you're at. So to my 25-year-old self, I would say, be you. Don't let anybody capture you. You know, like if somebody tells you, I'll tell you, I'm actually wearing this outfit today. I bought this outfit for a futuristic party. And my ex-husband, now ex, wonder why, he told me I couldn't wear it because it looked like Elvis. You know what? I kept this thing for freaking 5 years. And when I saw I was coming to Vegas, I was like, boom, I'm going to wear it. So believe in yourself. You know, I wanted to share a quick story. A stranger came up to me on a day I was wearing a shirt, underestimate me. That'll be fun, right? My mom got it for me because I was going through a hard time. This lady's like, I like your shirt. I was like, awesome. My mom got it for me and needed the strength today. She gave me my coffee. I came over. She goes, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm going through some stuff, right? She took this ring off her finger, and she says, I think you need this more than me. And it says, I am enough. I've never taken this off. Believe in yourself. That's what I would say to my 25-year-old self. And every other age group, you can start believing in yourself at any moment. Any moment.
Yeah, that was
Krista?
good. Yeah, I would say to my 25-year-old self, start now. You are more capable than you even know. You're stronger than you think, and you can handle more than you even think is possible. So start now. Care about your mental health. Start healthy habits. Get there quicker, because you can.
Yeah. How did you build confidence and resiliency, do you think?
I'm still working on it, right? So honestly, I built confidence and resilience by failing many times, and pushing myself and making sure that I showed up every single time, and showing up for myself and reminding myself that it's okay. You're never going to learn anything unless if you fell and you fall. So be okay with that and talk to yourself. Your speech to yourself is the most important thing. Nothing else matters but that. So, yeah.
So I didn't
Yeah,
have the
go
confidence
ahead.
and resilience.
Go ahead, Candy. Go ahead,
Okay.
Candy.
I'm sorry, I forgot about confidence and resilience, and whoa, how did I get so much, right? So I did the same. I believed in myself and failed, you know what I mean? And the thing is that when you don't believe in yourself, you think you're going to do it. You think you can do it. You don't pick it up and say, maybe I will. You say, I'm going to do this. So that way, no matter how many times you fail, you go.
And also, I mean, to add to that, every transaction you get through, I mean, in real estate, I would say there's never a dull day in real estate.
Literally, no.
It's every transaction is different, and with every transaction that you finish and achieve,
Yeah.
you've learned a little more, and you're a little more confident.
Yeah. That's what I talked about yesterday with the checklist. I fell through fire to make that checklist.
Yes.
To make sure that nobody had to be at their house at 9 o'clock at night and didn't turn the electric bill on because I didn't
Yeah.
tell them. You know, like you build confidence by figuring stuff out, making mistakes, trying new things, and succeeding. It's not all about failure. Holy shit, when you succeed, you're like, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
I sold that. I
Yeah.
sold 50 houses my first year in real estate.
There you go.
It's crazy. I sold 50 houses my first year in real estate, single agent, solo agent. It was nuts. I got 5 designations. I had a 6-month-old baby when I started. I went through real estate school pumping milk during the breaks. So there are ways you get confidence. You're like, I did that. That was me. You know, nobody else. So that's how you build confidence.
Ronnie, so 2 questions. Your 25-year-old self, what would you, what advice would you give to your 25-year-old self, and how did you build confidence and resiliency?
25-year-old me, I would say follow and listen to that inner voice that, got you to go down the path, and just don't be afraid to fail and speak up, be engaged, learn, and share that, and take that and move it forward. And it's always going to be a progress that to go toward to try to better yourself and to build upon what you are trying to build. And the only constant is change. So don't be afraid of that. Do not be afraid. And at 25, don't hesitate. I would say, just do it now. Don't listen to the negativity. Be confident in the strengths and build upon that and make the improvements where it's needed. And the second part is, what is it?
Confidence and resiliency, how did you build that?
Again, it can be a little bit difficult, and so you just have to rely and find that strength and use that to be positive and be a positive outcome. Again, engage and communicate, reach out, collaborate, learn from your mistakes, and work to make the outcomes better by different processes, something to distinguish yourself, and of course, giving back. I mentioned being the chair of the Hospital Corporation, and it's a network of, and this year, as part of a network of 13, safety net hospitals, I am now the chair of the capital budgets for all 3 to make sure that, it's going to be better going forward. When lockdown of COVID first began, I know I was very fortunate in that I was able to use that strength that I had developed from my skills and the passions that I had for helping people, and was able to maintain a lot of my company contracts and obligations by reconfiguring the offices of many clients down on Wall Street and Midtown, so that they were COVID safe, and just being having the passion as a evangelist, if you will, about materials and design. It helped them be future ready and ready to bring everyone back into the office. So always look forward and grow and, be that advocate to make the outcomes better in your community and for change.
Thank you. Crystal and Candy, this question I have particularly for both of you, given your background. You both manage a team, so my question to you both is, what motivated you to step up and become a leader in the organization? So, Crystal, I'll start with you.
Honestly, it's the leader that I have. My broker saw something in me when I was stay-at-home mom for 9 years. I knew I had the capability. I knew that I could do more, but I didn't have someone that believed in me and saw that. So aligning with him is absolutely what pushed me there and got me where I need to be. So, yeah, I would say just having a guide in your life, having a coach, and having somebody to support you is what made me want that. Knowing that you could have a leader in your life that didn't beat you down and actually built you up was
Yes.
exactly what I needed to see and what I wanted to give back. I wanted to be that. I want to do that for people, and so that's what I'm doing.
Great. Candy?
Excuse me. So talking about team and managing a team and being a leader there, I actually was kind of forced into that. I was pregnant with my second son, and I had, placenta previa, so I had to get bed rest, and so I had to create a team. Once I created that team where I was doing the transaction work and I flip-flopped it, I didn't grow a team for a long time. I just kept it as a TC and me and a showing assistant every once in a while. Then I finally came up with my system, and I knew that I could apply it to somebody else. So I knew I could bring value, because I never joined a team to begin with, because like I said yesterday, I didn't see the value. So until I was able to say, this is my value for your portion of this, whatever it is, then that's when I grew a team, and it became natural, because in the Navy and the police, all that, I just was a good leader. So when I saw that I was helping people do good, my friend Annie, who also is my agent, she sold 6 houses the year before she worked with me, and she worked as a TC, and then she worked with me and she sold enough to make $200,000.
By TC, you mean transaction
Coordinator. Yeah, she was doing the TC work, doing paperwork for others, for
processing and everything. Yes.
Yeah, and she came on my team, and you know what? She didn't even know she wanted to get into sales. I said, I think you're so great that I'm going to make a spot for you. I made her ISA, inside sales agent, meaning
Yeah.
she took in some lead calls, and I said, if everybody's too busy and you can take it, take it.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't too long before she was my top agent. So-
And I think that's the beauty of working in a team, that everybody has their own set of work set out for them, and they excel in their own work, and it's a streamlined process that what clients don't see on the forefront, we are doing in the back end, trying to make it a streamlined process from listing a house to getting it sold. They don't realize that there is a teamwork happening with once they contact us through the website and email, the ISAs take that on. They nurture those leads and get them into the forefront with the agent. The agent then does the consult with them and then takes it to the client care coordinator and lists the house. Then comes the stager, the videographer, the photographer. All those people come into play. They're all in the background. Nobody's seeing them on the forefront. But once the house is listed, all these have passed through all this process to get it to the MLS system for the seller and the buyers to see.
Yeah, and that's honestly how you combat, do you reduce your commission? Well, look at all the value. Look at everything I do, lay it out. It's 185 things, standard checklist items that you have to do in a transaction.
Yeah, and it's a
lot.
streamlined process
Yeah.
that just happens.
I saw a need for a better leader, in real estate as somebody to
And
be
better
an
service.
example. Yeah, for my team though. Like I
Yes.
started off giving that value to my clients, and then I saw that I could give it to other agents, because I hear all the time, this team sucks, I quit, I'm bouncing around on teams. So I found a way to make sure that they had an ISA coming in, they have a transaction coordinator coming in, they have leads that are nurtured coming in, you know, they have a podcast room, and they have me to give them branding stuff. So I just made myself the leader that I wanted to be. And now I give that to my team, because I didn't do it before because I didn't want to fail. I wasn't ready. And I just did it about 2 years ago now, and it's been going great.
And just to reiterate to both of you, like you are the leaders in the team that recognize the talent. One person could be a very good agent for buyers, and one could be a very good agent for sellers. So it's their job to find that talent and delegate accordingly as leaders, correct?
And dip their toes in leadership positions. When you say, like, if they show, you know, you don't throw them in and say, all right, you're in charge. No, you're like, okay, do these things, and then they come back and it's good and whatever it was, and then you can say, okay, now you can push them up. But you find your talent in your team if you lead them in the right way and you pay attention and care about their pocketbook as well. How? Novice. Right.
I was just wanted to make that same point. Play to the strengths of your team, the people on your team, and don't be afraid to have everyone share their knowledge base and be available, and don't and let others lead on, you know, aspects. Don't try to micromanage or hold everything in. You know, just let it go to the others, and you'll have a more effective, efficient team.
And no matter what, you know, all five of us, we are in different levels in our leadership. But you know, even though we are leaders in the industry, we are still educating ourselves in different levels to get to the next level. And the education never ends. You stop growing when you stop educating yourself. So it has to keep on continuing. It never ends.
What's the coolest thing about building a team and make sure they're good is that you get to go do other things and learn more stuff. So if you're one of those people that just is not satisfied with,
Exactly.
okay, done
You're
that, I
giving
did that.
yourself more time to leverage
And do-
yourself to the next level.
And then that builds your team's brand and gives them the availability and the space once they're ready to then say, I need to make decisions. I might need to hire somebody. Candy, how do I do that? And then I have teams growing up under me, you know? So.
Yeah. Sandy, I'm going to start with you, the next question. So how do you combat peers or men doubting you, especially in real estate?
Well, I have gotten it from more from peers than men, but overall, I would just brush it off. Just continue to do my goals. I know the purpose and the mission and the service that I have in my heart. To me, in real estate, it's been a dream of mine since I was a child to fix and flip and renovate property. So now that I'm actually living in my career and doing it, no one can take it, stop it. There's so many people who said, don't title your business Black Girls Buy Houses. You know, don't get into wholesaling. Don't get into real estate in general. You know, real estate is a part-time job. Right. No, I do it full time. I love it. I wouldn't choose anything else. So it's men. You know, if the men that I do run into that doubt my success, I just tell them I can do anything that you can do. You know, plus, you know, better because, you know, we're women, you know, pretty faces, you know, looking pretty, you know, it's more than that, and we're educated, but, you know, we just have that extra step up over them. They may have the strength, but, you know, we have the looks, so. Yeah.
And we are just as educated and confident to take on the task.
Or more, because we have to be, and we're tested all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or more.
Okay. So Candy,
Yeah. So I am very experienced in this in both realms, peers and men. So I'm just going to lump them into one group, haters. Okay? Don't pay attention to the haters. If you don't got haters, you're not big enough. You know, so the naysayers, the people, that comes in the belief inside of yourself Why are you going to listen to some a-hole who's not doing nothing? Or somebody who is doing something and would treat you that way? F the haters. Pay attention to your goal, your mission, like you said. If you have an idea, are you on Real Estate Ladies That Rock? Because I've seen the name of your company before. Okay, because Ellie Blaine's like, anyway. I just heard the name of her company, the fact I put my face on a truck, like people are all like, I have a very good education against people who try to take advantage of me, men and women, and so I have that education that some people don't have, so I use it as a shield, So whatever has been done to you, let that go, or it's going to keep you there. If you have some hate or some stuff that's going on in your life that's holding you back from getting your business going, let it go. It's going to take you down. I say the same thing about bad employees. You want to go down on the ship to save a mutineer? Nah, cut them off.
Crystal?
I would say prove them wrong. You're always going to have haters. You're always going to have people that don't believe in you and challenge you or question what you're doing. I think you just have to keep going. You know what your goal is. You know where you want to go. So focus on that and get there. And then you can say, I told you so.
Yeah, move with confidence, yes. Ronnie?
It's more like a been there, done that. It's a constant drumbeat. I think it's one of these things that people don't even think about that they're saying, or it's like an unconscious statement. So you just can't listen to it. It's like ridiculous. You remember, draw on your strengths and, know your worth, know that what you're doing has value, and that, you're going to be coming out with those outcomes that you're seeking. If you do a self-check, someone says something negative, and then you look around and you say, okay, well, I'm here, so, I must be doing something right. So, yeah, you just can't listen to it. Draw strength from that. It's just, yes, don't let people tell you who you are or what you can accomplish.
And for the young ladies, young ladies, it gets better. You don't care as much. You're like, so it gets better. Young people in the early 20s, it gets better. It's hard to be a woman coming up. You're figuring out your beauty. You're figuring out your place. And the place right now is shifting in society because there's a lot of us coming up. So
and you have your goals
yes.
in mind. And if you're a leader and you're focused on your goals so much, all those things happen to disappear because your focus is somewhere else.
They don't have any gravity anymore.
Constantly leverage and get to the next level.
The weight is gone. It's there still,
Yeah.
but it's not heavy. Right?
Yeah. So my next question is to all three of you. I'm skipping Sunday here because she's not yet started a family, but I want to know from all three of you, how do you balance family and your career?
Okay. So I don't. There's no really such way, right? You have a business, you have a life, you have a mission, all that lumps into one. I think the best thing to do is to pay attention to the time that you do have and don't kick yourself. You're a woman, you're a business owner. We were talking about this yesterday. You have a kid, you're gonna have guilt one way or the other.
Yeah.
You're gonna have guilt for your business if you're staying home with your baby, and you're going to have guilt for your baby if you're going out for your business. So know your goal. If you know the focus of the goal that's going to get that baby a better life, it makes it a little easier. It's still terrible. It tears your heart out. Like, whew, don't get me crying. But just give yourself grace. Make it so you see something you can systemize or automate. Do it. Boom. You finally get big enough to you can hire a transaction coordinator. I say if you're selling 30 deals a year, hire a transaction coordinator.
Yeah.
It'll save you. You go like this, right? You're like, I have 10 deals under contract, 3 deals under contract, 10, 3. So, just kind of find the ways to find time, whether it's through automation, whether it's through hiring people, earn enough money and get a cleaning lady so you're not spending an hour or 2 hours cleaning the house. You have the time with your kids when you're home. So you just have to figure out how it fits in, how it works, how you have enough time that makes you feel okay to go out and work and also be a mom.
Crystal?
I think that you have to make sure that you have balance in that area. I think that is extremely important. Family is a huge part of your life and your success.
And we're wearing so many hats. You're a
you
mother,
do.
you're a daughter,
Yes.
you're a sister, you're a wife, and
Yes.
you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and you have to be able to balance that to some extent. And it's never perfect. It's kind of like marriage. It's never a 50-50, right? Like somebody's always giving more, somebody's always taking more, and that's how it is. That's how life is. But there are things you can do, and you can pick and choose. If it's not adding value to your life, you can say no, and you can choose your family and make sure that that time you spend with them is valuable. It's not sitting there on your phone. You're spending time with them because that's what matters. Whenever I got into working full-time job, it was extremely important to me, and I was very, very thankful to have a boss that allowed me to put my family first. And that's still a priority to me, although I love my job and I would work all the time if I could. I'm raising boys and I'm raising them to be men, and I have to be there to support them, so that's never been an option. I'm still a part of the PTO, I'm still there, I still am a homeroom parent, and I still show up to all of those things. And it's amazing how much of an impact that has on them, and that's part of leadership. It's leading your children, it's leading your families, and it's showing them that you can balance it and you can still be a support for them while being successful, because that's what I want them to see.
Ronnie?
You have to be flexible. There's lyrics from a song, so you have to be loose in your mind. So, don't get rid of the rigidity. There's nothing that says that you make the time to engage and be there for your family, and draw on the strength of that the love gives you. And it's so worth it. It's just like what Candy said, it gets better. And so you'll be able to, it's building memories. And if you focus on making that for your family, making this reality for your family, you have this incredible legacy upon which you're building. And that's what it is. It's in the moment that creates all of that. And so, use that, and you will, it's worth it. It's totally worth it.
I'm going to add to this. We have 5 circles. Every one of us, we have 5 circles in our life that we are constantly balancing. We're never balanced. People say that I have a balanced life. That's not true. You're constantly balancing your life. And the 5 circles that I go with is spiritual, financial, family, business, and personal. And personal meaning not just physical, but also mental. You're constantly balancing all 5 circles of your life. And unfortunately for us women, the biological clock and the career clock goes parallel to each other. And you just have to manage. Your kids are growing up, same time your career is getting built. So manage that time, manage it well to the point that, for example, I do date nights with my husband, I do date nights with my kids, and so put them in your calendar. Just like you put your doctor appointments in your calendar, just with your appointments with your clients, put your family members in the calendar. I was with my son one day, and a client called and said, can we see this house in the next 15 minutes? And I had to tell the client, I'm at an appointment currently, but I can show it to you in the next hour if that's okay. And I hung up, and my son looked at me and said, Mom, you just lied to the man. You're free. I'm like, no, you are my appointment currently. And that is how you manage. The clients won't understand, your personal life, and they don't want to. They want to make sure that you're doing your job. And yes, very much so we are doing it, but we have to accommodate every aspect of our life. That's all it is, So.
Me, can I add for my personal
Yeah.
work-life balance? So myself, I schedule me time as far as just things that make me feel good, things that will heighten my femininity or just my mental health as far as to help.
Or recharging yourself.
Yes.
To give your 100%.
Yes, so that requires maybe getting, once a month going to get a massage. I go bowling multiple times a week after work. This bowling alley in DC stays open very late at night, so I can go in there, get an hour in a bowling, decompress, yoga in the morning, going to the gym, taking a walk, especially just those, in between meetings, walk around the block or up and down the street just to get some fresh air, especially now that it's getting springtime, summer out now. And just keep being, yourself you, and especially being a part of real estate. That's why real estate became so attractive to me, is so that the hours that of freedom that you can potentially have once those systems and teams are in place. You have, as far as studying or do whatever the task is that you want to do that you may have never done before. That's also something that I've done in my real estate career is, trying things that I may have not have tried if I had a regular 9-to-5 job. So just utilizing the fact that you're a real estate entrepreneur, has so many benefits, despite the hours that's going on.
I started playing pickleball because I saw these ladies doing this, right? And we just started playing, and then these became my friends, and then they became people that tell people about me. So try new things, you never know what you might love, right?
Especially the hours too. So you're not going out, after 5 o'clock. You're doing this, maybe at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's like that's your network. That other entrepreneurs are in that network at the same time. At the gym at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes. If you hate it, don't go back. Yeah, don't go back.
Okay, one last question for all 4 of you. What do you think you have to give up having that our male counterparts do not have to? What do you think you have to give up having that our male counterparts do not have to?
Let's see. P standing up? No, okay.
I don't think there's anything that has to be given up. I think that's like an old-fashioned concept from, this is the 21st century, it's not the 19th century. So I don't think, especially younger people, they don't think like that anymore. It's kind of like an obtuse question. What are you giving up? If you are using technology and your wits and your smarts and your marketing to make it happen, there's not something else that's out there that it's not available to you. And, again, you have to make the path sometimes. You have to be the one out front sometimes, and that's okay. It's just that's just what it is. That's life. Again, just keep in mind the only constant is change, and you have to be flexible. You have to be that change agent. And saying, "Oh, I have to give this up," that's just like built into a self-defeatist attitude. It's like that's not something that I would even think.
So I think sometimes, like she said, I agree with that, but I go to work and I leave my baby at home, and people are like, how can you stand to do that? And if a man is a traveling business person and he goes on a business trip, what sacrifices you're making for your family? Correct? So the pressure put on us is not fair I don't think it's giving up
The fact that
anything.
we are, the fact that we are wearing multiple hats, we have to constantly think about all
Yeah.
those factors before
Well,
we
no,
can
it's
move.
the judgment. The
Yeah.
judgment is different. So
Yeah.
I think that's what, that's what hurts the most. Like you said, we're pretty, we get in a door, but why does that have to be how I get in a door? And not because I'm brilliant.
Yeah.
And because I'm the right person for the job specifically, and I'm the best system engineer there is in my town in real estate. Why? Why does it have to be this? But like you said, and I commented to you silently, we just have to use what they try to use against us, against them.
But Candy, like to my point, I'm just saying that, yeah, we're like all, it's not cookie cutter, because there could be a scenario where a man has a child that needs to have care, and is raising the child alone. Correct. That's right. So it's
But
so
he still would not be
individual.
judged the same way that I get judged about being gone from my
Well,
babies.
yes, exactly.
Judgment, and I'm not giving up anything, it's just the judgment is different, because I didn't have an answer, like, we're all silent.
Yes.
Or like, I don't give up anything.
And that's what you can't pay attention to, because otherwise you have to realize that that's always going to be there.
Well, I wanted to say it out loud to the people so that we can let people know that we actually have that and it actually happens.
Yes.
Maybe look at it and see
Yes.
if you can change your mindset on how you judge others,
That's
right?
true. That's
Right?
true.
Yeah, because there's too much judgment.
Crystal?
Yeah, I would just like to say, I think your original question, I believe, was what do we have that men do not? And I actually like that question a little bit better, because we are born with this amazing ability to give birth to children, which creates this nurturing that we naturally have. It's part of who we are, and it kind of explains.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah, exactly. And it also kind of explains why the majority of real estate agents are women. We naturally know how to nurture those relationships and care for the people. That is a very stressful time in your life. Purchasing a home, it's a huge amount of money that you're putting into and hoping and praying that everything is perfect. And you have a support in your agent, you hope you do. And I think there's a reason for that. I think that what we have is that nurture, that compassion that is different. Not to say that a man can't have those things, of course they can. I just think that it's inherently strong in us, which makes us stand out. I mean, and us getting judged, like she said, I did just want to speak on that quickly. Yes, that is true, but I think it makes us stronger, and I think it makes us better. Women are just amazing creatures. We're able to wear many hats, do many things, and still put a smile on at the end of the day and put our lipstick on and walk out the door. So
Still come up with
Yeah,
ways to manage.
I have to agree.
Constant
I think that's a better
managing.
question.
I was going to piggyback what Crystal was saying with the original questions that we were given. My original answer was femininity, bringing femininity to real estate in a male-dominated industry. Being in a construction site, it's just a lot of testosterone. It's like they've never seen women before when you go to a construction site. It's like far people see when you go to a construction site, they're like, oh wow, woman during the workday, okay? So then you're able to decompress men to let's go get this job done. Can you do this? I'm not carrying it. Can you go ahead and get that, over here to whatever floor that needs to go to and continue to, move the team along to get the project done and ran. So femininity is definitely a big point that men don't have, and they may get that from us as far as being nurturing and caring about one another in a workspace, to get the job completed.
And look at the platform we are today. We have female speakers today who are architects or owners of construction companies. They're all in a female role. So this is slowly you can see the women taking over other industries. I have recently started seeing that car dealerships where the salespeople are female, and they know just about how much the men know about the cars, and selling to other female buyers who are coming to look at a car. I've experienced that and I've seen that, absolutely.
It definitely adds to the diversity is the strength. It's the power that really is the secret formula. You know, if you whatever the label or nomenclature is, if it's just one, then you know it's like the old proverb of just that's like a twig. But if you have everyone in the mix, then that's like bound together, and it's like a unbreakable bond. So it's the diversity gives you that strength, and you know you have to draw on that.
I don't have a good a memory as you. What was the original question?
It was, what do women have that men don't?
Yeah, that's exactly
Yes,
what I.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
What? Stop. Okay. What was what you said specifically is right. What you said specifically is right. We also bring everything else. So we are powerful. We are intelligent. We are emotional. We're empathetic,
And lead with confidence.
caring. Yes, and you add that all together and you get somebody getting their first listing and shoveling gravel because she's worried about the lady's back. You get a woman who can do it, doing it for another woman, and look what happens. So we care enough to create businesses that make value into our business. And you pour that into your team, and you pour that into your leadership positions, and then also to your clients. Who does it better than somebody who could be a mama, even if you're not one? You have it in you.
I
So
mean-
it's all powerful.
Just before coming here, I was meeting with one of the builders who I sell houses for. He builds the houses, and he wanted me to list 4 houses that are going to be finished soon. And he wanted me to start listing, and he wanted me to come to the construction site and look at what he was building. So I'm talking about getting down with your boots and shoes and getting through that construction site. And he's like, there's no staircase. Can you climb this ladder? And I did climb that ladder up. So women are doing just as much as men are in the industry. And the end goal is get the work done. Get it done. Yeah. 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 Whatever it takes, just get it done. Anything to add, ladies? Any final comments to add as leaders?
I have one thing to add. I know that this is a women leadership board, but I do want to acknowledge all the men that are supportive of women and push them to grow. I want to acknowledge the men that encourage that and allow space for that, because you should never have to shut up and sit down. You should always have a voice. So as advice to all women, don't lower your voice. You have a space to speak. Stand up, take up space, and don't apologize for it.
I agree with you.
And I think on that note, we are at the end of our time.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much. I look forward to the day where we actually have an entire real estate seminar that is all women. I think that would be an amazing time as well. And I want to thank these ladies for taking the time and
Thank you.
And the effort for putting this panel together. Thank you so much.